Hello yous, welcome to Trews. I'm going on tour across Europe. I'm going to be in Amsterdam on the 20th. Here's some news from Amsterdam because I want to know what you got now. Since we've Brexited, I don't know what you're doing in Europe anymore. Is it okay to insult the King? Dutch MPs debate a law change. We have complicated views, don't we, about monarchy, particularly since the Crown came out. I mean, I thought any sort of emblem of power and hierarchy as potent as a monarch ought belong to the bygone age in which they were conceived. But you sit and watch The Crown, the Queen's bloody lovely.
That is the name you will take as Queen.
Let's not overcomplicate matters unnecessarily. My name is Elizabeth.
And long live Queen Elizabeth.
But through pageantry, legislation and wealth, they are separated from ordinary people because why? They are icons of national sovereignty.
Her diplomatic role as head of state and of the Commonwealth continues, and she regularly meets with the Prime Minister and plays host to other world leaders. But there remains a staunch opposition to the royal family, who say the Queen and the monarchy has become irrelevant in today's world.
What is national sovereignty? It's the idea that a particular landmass has a cohesive identity built around other things such as, I don't know, language, borders, economic policy, ideology, and importantly, a flag. One Dutch politician is saying it should be no different from offending anybody, but then don't have a monarchy. If you're saying that people are the same as one another, don't have a monarchy at all. To say don't insult a monarchy in a way is pulling a thread that leads to don't have a monarchy. Dutch MPs on Thursday debated scrapping 19th century laws making it a criminal offence to insult the King, with backers of a draft bill saying they no longer fit a modern monarchy. But you can't have a modern monarchy in a way. It's atavistic idea. In our own country, Britain, we have sort of a modern marriage coming up with Harry and Meghan Markle, and it's a modernised thing. She's a sort of American, people are excited, but really, monarchy is monarchy. The down-to-earth King Willem Alexander has proved as popular as his mother, former Queen Beatrix, remains one of the few countries to still maintain lèse-majesté laws under which it's a criminal offence to insult or defame the monarch. That means I could literally say something now and it would be a criminal offence. So today it implies restricting freedom of speech to have such a law, argues D66 MP Kees Verhoeven. Nice. Kees Verhoeven saying it restricts freedom of speech. You should have the freedom of speech to criticise a king. Fair enough. Legislation should make no distinction between insulting the king and insulting your neighbour, he added. But that's ridiculous, isn't it? Because there is a distinction between a king and a neighbour, unless you live next door to a king, in which case I'd start thinking, how come the king's living in a semi-detached or possibly even terraced house?
Look, what I object to is you automatically treat me like an inferior. Well, I am king. Oh, king, eh? Very nice. And how'd you get that, eh?
See, that's what this thread leads to. If it's okay to insult a king, it's okay to not have a king. The pageantry, the pomp, the insignia, the ceremony, and all of the artifice and paraphernalia constantly distracts you from this simple fact. Human beings are basically the same. We are born, we die, we are in infinite space. Have a monarchy if you want a monarchy, but do know it's your imagination. You're imagining that the king is magnificent. You are enjoying the theatre, the opera of royal Britannia and Buckingham Palace and flags and tiaras. And when this new royal wedding happens, I'm sure we'll be super excited. And I wouldn't think there was any real value in insulting them, but you should certainly be aware of what it means. The law is seldom invoked, however, and carries a maximum 5 years in jail or a penalty of €20,000. It's not worth it. Last year, in July 2016, wow, a man was jailed for 30 days. So it kicks off then. He insulted Willem Alexander on Facebook, calling him a murderer, a thief and a rapist. I mean, it's a bit out of order to say that to anybody, isn't it, if it's not true. The issue also flared up in 2014 when an activist shouted, "Fuck the king, fuck the queen, fuck the royal house," during a protest. That's what you're meant to do in a protest, isn't it? You can't just in a protest go, "Hey, I quite like the royal family and the king and queen." You've got to kick off a little bit. Although prosecutors initially filed a suit against the man, the decision was reversed after an outcry condemning what was seen as an assault on freedom of speech. If I was a king, I wouldn't be too worried about people saying that, I don't think. I wouldn't think, oh no, the monarchy's being destabilised by the F word. He's proposing dropping the lèse-majesté clauses from wider-ranging laws on crimes against royalty and insists the king will still have the right, like all Dutch citizens, to lodge a complaint against someone for defamation. However, conservative Christian CDA party, God, you have Christian parties still, Chris Van Dam, said it was inconceivable that the king would cycle over to the police station to log a complaint. That's funny. Pop my clogs off, spin my windmill. Hey, that bastard called me a fucker! The largest coalition party, Prime Minister Mark Rutte's Liberal VVD, appears to be cautious over the proposed law change. But despite such misgivings, a majority appeared to be forming in the Parliament Thursday for the monarch to be liable to receive the same kind of insults the ordinary Dutch people must endure. Possibly we should stop insulting each other altogether. How about this? How about a world where no one goes around calling each other a fucker, and that we no longer require symbols of power and symbols of nationhood?
Who is your lord?
We don't have a lord.
What? I told you, we're an anarcho-syndicalist commune.
Because we are more in touch with the actuality of our lives. Temporal beings, temporal masses of atoms, driven by mammalian necessity and pure evolution, capable of great love, great glory, that we will not achieve if we live on the superficial, symbolic level. Love to you all. Come check me in Sweden on Saturday. Come check me in Norway. After that in Oslo and Amsterdam. Holland, where you do not insult a king if you do not want a proper lump of jail time on the 20th. That's some true news. I love you. Goodbye.